Hi, this is Michelle Medrano with another episode of Contemplate This, where we contemplate your spiritual questions. Today I want to contemplate the value of seeing things from another perspective, seeing things differently. So often as we're moving around the world, we get very caught up in our perspective and how we see things and what we see going on. And while that's very important and it's a huge part of being a human being, it doesn't always serve us. It doesn't always serve us. It seems like for me, it has served me to ask myself often, what assumptions am I making about other people and their own motivations or why they would do something. And so I've noticed a couple of things. As I'm growing older, for example, I found that now I need these sometimes to read things. I need just like little magnifiers, not to see you right now, that's a little too much, but to see small print. And it has changed my perspective to be able to have these glasses, and it's helped me feel so much better to have them and be able to read when I need to read, because I like to read, and be able to see things better. So these things help me, and it's helped me to see that I need them to shift my perspective and engage in my world. And that I need the ability, as I'm going along and being a human being, to be able to see things from other people's perspective. One of the key examples I've used in my teaching over the years has been on the freeway. I like to drive fairly reasonably. Some might say I drive a little fast, but that's their perspective, isn't it? But I sometimes feel like other people drive really fast and they whiz past me. And I have found that there are times when I've been really judgmental about that, if I'm going to confess the truth, when I'll think, oh, they're not being safe on the road and what an idiot and they're driving way too fast. And, you know, those kind of things start going through my mind. And I realized one day, I don't feel very good when my brain does that. I don't feel really good when my mind does that. And I don't feel like I'm being a very loving, kind person. So I asked myself, what would it take for me to feel more loving kindness towards some jerk that speeds past me? And I realized it would mean a change of perspective. So I asked myself, well, what are the conditions under which, in the world of Queen Michelle, it would be okay for someone to speed past me like that? And I realized, well, what if they were speeding to a hospital? They just got called and told that someone they love was ill or in pain or passing away, and they were speeding to the hospital to get there. What if they just got told that their child was sick? What if they were not feeling well and felt like they were going to be ill themselves? And my mind suddenly, instead of them being a jerk, opened up to, I'm not in their car. I can't know what's going on there. So if I found out that they had a sick child or a sick relative and they were speeding up, I'd probably get out of their way and cheer them on and say, go be with them. Now, granted, I'm sure not every person who whizzes past me like that has that condition exactly going on. But the thing here is that especially when I don't know what's really going on, it doesn't help me to make up assumptions that are mean-spirited, or assumptions that are out of judgment or making wrong, or assumptions that disconnect me from a brother or sister on this planet. And so it helps me to see from another perspective, because what it gives me, if I can do it, is it gives me connection. It gives me an opportunity to try to put myself in their place and say, well, under what circumstance would it be okay to be seeing it or behaving in that way or saying those words? Is there any, if I was afraid or if I was seeing it from their perspective? Because literally right now I can be sitting in this chair and I can just move myself a little bit and I'm seeing things in this shot right now from a whole different perspective. I'm seeing things out a window that are behind our wonderful camera person from a whole different perspective, just from a little shift. We can do that with our minds. So my invitation today with this episode is try seeing things from a different perspective, especially where you're stuck, especially where you're making wrong, especially where you're having judgment. Because every time you or I are doing that, it's a disconnect. And what I want for us what I want for you, for me, for our whole world, for all the people on this planet, is connection, welcoming, inclusion. And to have that, I got to be that. So that's our invitation for today. I hope you take me up on it. If you do, I'd love to hear from you. Or if you have challenges in places where it's hard, let me know. Love to hear from you. Make a comment, ask a question. Thanks for tuning in.